Okay, in this task we want to talk about the variables, which is a little bit one of the kind of difficult concepts or handling in the middle of make this code. Whenever you need some kind of variables, sometimes or many times you have to declare what is a variable for. So in this example, my number is a kind of variable in the code, but that is for an integer. Okay, and there are many different types of it. So these are the table of it. So bytes, boolean, integer, long, single, and the string, all that stuff. We don't have time, and even frankly I'm not familiar with all of these, so you should see just case by case and other examples in our lecture notes, but just one thing, whenever you make a variable name, do not start with a number. Okay, and of course you cannot use any word which is already used in Visual Basic code, right? So other than that, you could use up to 254 letters, numbers, and underscore character to make your variable name. Okay? And let's say this is a kind of example. So before doing anything, let's say let's just check it. What does this one do? This is just name of this subroutine, and we define two variables, prompt dollar and variable for user input. Okay, and this dollar sign is not a must. There's no obligation for that, but in this table, that is type declaration character. So dollar sign is for string. So you don't need to do it always, but it's for ourselves, right? So when you see this kind of variable, you can understand, oh, this is for a string or text. Okay? And that is defined by a variant, right? A variant could be anything, right? So there's no declaration notation, but just if you expect any inputs like a number and string or whatever, right? So that's the meaning of it. These are the text, the comments about it, and this is first time to define the inputs for that, the values for that variable. It's a string, so it should be surrounded by double quotation mark and says please enter something. Okay, in this example, that is actually for this input box. So at the end, when you run this code, you're gonna see message box, and this message box has only one, which is that. Okay, and that is input box. So we are gonna have one input box inside message box, and input box is something you expect from your user, right? So you can make it empty, but sometimes you can put something on it, and that is that variable, which is a string, and that is please enter something. So you are not only have a input box inside the message box, but inside the input box you also type this one, right? So let's try to make it. Okay, let me copy and open Visual Basic, and it suggests to open new module, so let me do that and paste it. Then it's clearly we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines inside this subroutine. Okay, so let me run this. Then this is a message box, and it has please enter something. That's what we put here, right? So if you change this part, you're gonna see that changed text in here, right? So you can type something, whatever, right? And click OK. Then you're gonna see that. Okay. So all together, you can imagine what happens, right? So this is, you have to remember this one especially, right? Because for the project or final project, whenever you need some kind of inputs from your students, you should need this kind of code, right? Okay, so let me run this one again after changing this, saying question number 1, what is 1 plus 1? Okay. and let me run. Question number 1, what is 1 plus 1? Then you're supposed to type 2 in here, okay, and click OK. And our outcome at this moment is just for message box, but you can use that number for something, some actions in here, right? Okay. So that's what we want to do.